I wish I had an old man with a beard and mustache on my back. Good morning, afternoon, or indeterminate time of day to you, my friends on the internet. Brian here, and today I want to give you my impressions on the Titans Return Scourge figure. So this is the newest version of Scourge, who is from the 1986 movie, not the Black Optimus Prime. He comes with a card, which has some pretty cool artwork, which they used on the box. He has tech specs and tech specs for his headmaster as well. Hey, I just realized they did away with the names of these, just have pictures of strength, speed, intelligence, and firepower, I guess. They also increased the scale. It used to only go up to 10, didn't it? Drop a comment down if I'm not, wrong on this. I thought it only went up to 10. Oh my god, they have D&D stats now. His intelligence is a 11? Outrageous! Give me that pen! If you get that joke, say down below. Let me know if somebody gets that joke. Please, somebody get that joke. Alright, so, we've got Scourge here. His buddy, Fraxus, is inside his cockpit. I'm going to leave him in there for just a second because I want to show off the integration with the cannon and other headmasters that you can do. All the figures in this line seem to be doing a joint cooperation with numerous headmasters. So if I grab Grax here from Skullcruncher, small Skullsmasher, Skull Crocodile guy, and put him into a pose that could sit down, or kind of lay down, I can put him in that gun, and now I have two headmasters interacting with this deluxe. That's kind of cool. I do kind of dig the integration that they're doing. But let's pull this gun off and get Francis out of his cockpit. So, here is Fraxus. It's not even Fraxus. It's, what, Fraxus? I'm going to keep calling him Francis because I found it funny. Deadpool. Let's give you guys a close-up of his head. So Francis here actually is cool. He's got a little bit of paint on him. I think he's got a mouth. And he's got a cool visor. I kind of dig the paintwork that they did on this one. Would have been nice if there was something on the arms, especially like a little bit of that light blue on the arms would have been nice. But hey, it's a tiny little guy, so... Speaking of tiny little guys, let's pull in some compatriots to show you this size comparisons. Alright, so we've got Nightstick from the Battle in Space Cyclonus pack with Rodimus, the only target master that I have. Minimus Ambus. We've got Fraxus, we've got Grax, we've got Furos, and we've got Hyperfire from Scourge, Skullsmasher, I'm sorry, I keep calling him Cruncher, Hardhead, and Blur. And I'm going to push you guys in a little bit closer so you can get a closer up of these guys. All the headmasters are apparently the same size, or are the same size. I don't know if that's going to be true in the future, but I suspect so. And they are about half the height of Minimus Ambus, so they're a little bit small. But, they turn into heads. So for articulation for Francis, his head is on a ball joint. Actually, this is true of all the headmasters that I've messed with so far. Their arms are on a ball joint, but the ball joint is so limited it might as well be useless. In fact, let's pull you up a little bit closer so you can see. Head, ball joint. Focus. Come on, guys. You can focus. Head is on a ball joint, and my thumb was in the way. Ball joint can swivel around as much as you'd like. Can get a little bit of motion, but, it's not really going to be all that noticeable because he's so small. His arms, ball joint, but again, they're so limited you can't really do anything with them except go forward and maybe up. If I push, I think that's about as high as it's going to go. So I suppose he can do a good Hitler hail. He's got a waist joint. Well, no, he's got leg joint that's a pin and connected, so his legs can do this and only this. His knees are in a similar situation. They can go like that. They can go like that. I don't know why. That looks painful. Oh, wait, I do know why, because that's his transformation. Speaking of transformation, you can totally put him back into head mode and have a old man with a beard and mustache on your back. I wish I had an old man with a beard and mustache on my back, training me in ways of the Force like my father. Those were the days. I don't know where that came from. Alright, let's talk about Scourge himself. This is some sort of cannon, and I'm just basically going to plug it in back there and leave it there because I kind of like it. It's got a little bit of paint right there. But on this alt mode itself, I rather like it. I didn't really ever like the flying bar of soap. So this is a really kind of cool way to homage that and modernize it. One of my biggest complaints is that these flaps don't peg in anywhere. They just chill out there and can be knocked around pretty easily. As far as articulation, he has none. His cockpit opens, I suppose. There's a point of articulation. Yeah. I kind of want to like paint out some of this interior thing if I'm going to keep the headmaster gimmick intact. So yeah, you can kind of basically see his entire robot in on the underside. So if you want something funny, you could totally leave the headmaster in and kind of just have a head chilling out back there. But let's go ahead and pull in some size comparisons. Of course, the biggest one people are going to want is with the classics. What line was this from? I don't even remember. But this is the last version of Scourge, who turned into an Earth mode bomber, which this is still a great Scourge. But I am a huge fan of Cybertronian modes, so this kind of, I think I like this alt mode better than this. Do not get me wrong, I think he is a better toy. I like him better than this guy, but I was sold on his alt mode, basically. This alt mode is cool to me. I like this alt mode more than this one. But size-wise, you know, take the wings down. They're kind of similar size, yeah. I actually don't have Chromia on hand at the moment, but I do have Parade RC. So, there you go. They're the same size, or similar anyway. That's how big he is compared to her. Someone who was a headmaster, I've got Nightbeat here. This is the Classics Nightbeat that was a repaint of Bumblebee, so he's not a headmaster yet. I think they are coming out with a figure of him, though. Speaking of Combiner Wars, there is Hound, who is the Swindle/Rook mold. So that's how big he is compared to the last year's thing. I've got some other movie compatriots here. That is Generations Voyager Springer. We've got Mastermind Creations Azalea, who is my RC. I've got Ultra Magnus from Combiner Wars, who isn't a Combiner at all, but it's still cool. So yeah, there's some cool sizes. That actually looks kind of cool to me. I like it. I think he's going to work well for a Scourge in some sort of movie display. But if you're going to do a movie display, you do need a Cyclonus. So here is the Battle in Space Cyclonus, decked out with the Hurricane add-on kit, I think it's called, from Mastermind Creations Tailgate. Basically, this is IDW Cyclonus, who looks almost identical. So that's how these guys would look together. Actually, not bad. Not bad at all, I think. But let's pull in his wave mates to see how the entire first wave of deluxes looks together. So that's actually not too bad. They're all roughly the same size, and they look pretty coherent together. I kind of dig them. They don't look bad. So I think that's basically everything there is to say about his vehicle mode. So let's go ahead and get him into robot mode and discuss how I feel about him in that mode, shall we? Let's do spacebar soap. Run, Minimus Ambus, run! So it is really cool that the small little ports on the underside of the blue flaps that are on the back of the alt mode can actually be used as pegs for Tamashii stages. You can tell he's a badass because he does not have painted fingernails. And bam, here he is in his robot mode. He can hold his gun and a headmaster can totally still sit in there. I'm sorry, Titan Master can totally still sit in there. I don't think that looks all that particularly appealing, so I generally just put the gun upside down, I guess. That looks a little bit better to me. But man, he has a lot of blue. He has so much blue on him that I actually do a bit of a fan mode for myself. I undo part of the transformation, and I leave his legs like that. So this gives him a little bit of color variety. I think these feet look better than these feet. These definitely look more like heel spurs to me than feet. Granted, you do have some painted details on the back now, so that's sadness, but I think overall this looks better. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep him like this for now. So there's his head. Very nice Fu-Manchu. I like that they got the little cannon on it. However, it falls down super easy, so I'm probably just going to... If it falls, I'm probably just going to leave it and not even notice that it fell. So let's discuss his articulation. As you may have noticed, his head is a bit wobbly. I don't really know how to fix that. That is kind of bugging me. But his head is on that ball joint that the headmaster is on, so you can spin it all around. You can kind of get some side-to-side move. Actually, no, you can get some decent side-to-side movement on it if you just, like, pull it out of the... I just realized I'm pulling it out of the socket. So if you pull it out of the socket, you can make him go, huh? What are you talking about? Ah! I'm just gonna put him back in there for now. Stay! And get your cannon thingy up. Oh, also, I forgot. This totally comes out, and you can use it as a gun. This was the painted head thingy in vehicle mode. It can be a gun. Kapew, 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 kapew. Or you could put it on this thing and make a triple-barreled kapew, 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 kapew gun. Back to his articulation. His arms are on a swivel, so you can get them to go out a decent ways. And you can get a ball-jointed elbow. Well, you do get a ball-jointed elbow. You can go all the way around. You can arrange these wings how you like, so you can get, you know, all the way around without having to mess with the wings. You get a bicep swivel, 90-degree elbow, and a wrist that goes inwards, and that's it for that. He doesn't have a waist, which kind of sucks, but that's partially because of the transformation. For the transformation, as you saw, you have to pull this out, and there's no real way you could have had a waist. Unless he, like, had this entire waist section come down with it, so it's a swivel. Yeah, I guess you could have done that. You could have had basically this entire crotch piece come down with this to swivel for the transformation. Now I'm sad that they didn't. But onto his legs. They do have a... They are on a swivel, so they can go forward that much. They can go backwards that much. They can go out that far. They do have a thigh swivel. And they have a knee. Oh, I just realized. My little fan mode prevents the knee from working, doesn't it? So, let's put this back the way it's supposed to and give you the full knee articulation. So, obviously, that would all still be appropriate, showing you that range of motion. His knee would be 90 degrees. That makes me sad. I like the look of that in the front, but no, the knee pads actually prevent you from doing that. I wonder, if I were to open up the panel to simulate if I had cut the knee pad off, how much bend would I be able to get? About that much, I think it would be bend. That's not too horrible. I might do that. I might cut the knee pad off just to get a better front, or I suppose I could just paint this. That would probably be better, I think. I don't know what I'm going to do. So anyway, you get a 90-degree knee. His feet are on a swivel, so you can get them to go forward and backwards, and they move independently, so you can kind of get some good movement out of them, but you can't, there's no ankle tilt, unfortunately. So his articulation isn't bad. These wings are on two joints, one here and one here, so they can get out of the way pretty easily. These fins don't move, though, so you're going to have to mess around with them. But let's move on to some size comparisons. Let's start off with a Nightbeat as the Generations Bumblebee mold, who is shorter than him. Of course, I got my yardstick of the Prid RC mold, this time in Prid RC. For last year's gimmick of Combiner Wars, there is Hound, so they're about the same size. With the headmaster, it ekes out just a smidge in Scourge's favor. But I'm sure everyone wants to see how he compares with his Generations counterpart. And yeah, he's still a better figure. He's got some good look to him, but the headmaster gimmick kills it for me, and the lack of paint kind of kills it for me. And how can you not? How can you say no to pink painted fingernails? You can't. You can't say pink. You can't say no to pink painted fingernails. But yeah, new Scourge is a bit taller. And the best thing is about Scourge, you can totally have multiple because, hey, Scourge and his sweeps. So I don't know which one's Scourge, which one's a sweep. Probably he's going to be a sweep. Here he is next to Battle in Space Cyclonus with his IDW upgrade kit from Tailgate, from Rear End. And since it's very similar head sculpt anyway, I think it's still fine. These guys actually look pretty decent together, to be honest. Like, even with the IDW head, these guys look kind of good. I don't disapprove of this. But let's pull in some other movie figures. So there is Springer from the Generations line and the Voyager. I've got Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus, who is not even in frame. I've got RC, and I will leave Blur off to the side for a moment until we get to the comparison with all that. So yeah, he actually fits in pretty well with a movie display. Speaking of Blur, let's go ahead and bring in the rest of his wave mates for you to take a look at. The entire line, the entire wave, not the entire line, the entire wave together. Why is Hardhead leaning forward? Are you drunk, men? Right, so there they all are. These guys all kind of look okay together. Yeah, I'm okay with it, especially these three. He kind of sticks out a bit, but that might just be because of the color scheme. But yeah, the gimmick for this entire series for the next year is going to be that you can pop the heads off any of these guys and swap them around. Let's go grab Hardhead's head and put him on there, and we can grab Scourge's head and put him on Hardhead. If you like a head and want to put it on a different body, you absolutely can. So there you go. On the transformation itself, I do kind of really like the that gimmick. I didn't expect that. I had no idea. I didn't look at the instructions when I first transformed this guy. That's my favorite thing to do when I get a new Transformer, is to not know how to transform him. So I messed around with him for a while before I figured that out, and it was actually kind of a fun transformation. It's a bit simple in the fact you just basically just fold him up a bit and then wrap his shell around him. But there was some cleverness with the transformation that I found enjoyable, and the end results in both modes are nice. However, I think I like his alt mode better than his robot mode. So I guess that kind of leads into my final thoughts on the figure. I don't like headmasters. I always found the concept of them to be kind of silly and dumb. So I liked Cyclonus' alt mode not Cyclonus, Scourge's alt mode so much that I was kind of talking myself into a reason to getting them. It's just a peg so I can push back in. I was trying to talk myself into a reason to getting, what's his name? Scourge and, Scourge and Francis. I forgot. Francis is the headmaster's name. No, it's like Fracas. Fracas! Bring me my burrito! Where is Francis? No, back to my final thoughts. Yeah, I don't like headmasters. So, seeing this Scourge, God, jeez, that is gonna happen, isn't it? Keep happening, doesn't it? Isn't it? It's going to keep happening, isn't it, Brian? You can finish the sentence properly. You know how to speak English. Anyway, I like the alt mode so much that I wanted to figure out a reason to buy this wave and this figure especially. And just kind of... So this was me testing out the waters of, do I actually like headmasters? Can I survive them? Can I stomach them? Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be buying too many of these headmasters. I don't like this gimmick. It works well enough, but it's not a gimmick I particularly enjoy. The heads look big and boxy. The having to take the heads off for transformation bugs me. It's not for me. Granted, on a shelf, Scourge here is going to look cool, and I'm probably going to leave him in his alt mode. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't regret buying him, but I definitely, if a fire takes everything, I don't think I'm going to replace him. So basically, there's my final thoughts. I am curious to know how you guys feel about him. How does he look to you? What do you feel about the headmaster gimmick? How do you feel about Scourge being a headmaster now? And, where's Deadpool? Where is Wade Wilson? I love that they call him Fracas because I keep making Francis jokes. Look at it. It looks like the name Francis. That's what I see. I see Francis. Thank you, though, to everyone who has subscribed to us and passes the word on about us. You are the best audience we could hope for, and we love you so much. We wouldn't be doing this without you guys, so thank you so much. Until next time, guys, may all your sweeps be of the brooming. Bye.